Number 10 Baylor men's basketball lost to number 21 Duke, 78 to 70. I will say this up front: the officiating was questionable on both sides in this game. Pointing it up, straight up. Maybe they need to go to mid-major to call a game, or Division Two, Division Three, or something less contested than this. I mean, not a ranked versus ranked matchup here. Duke was up 34-32 at halftime, and Baylor was down early, big, but they came back. Don't be down two. The second half, Baylor had a lead, but then Duke tied it up, and then they got the lead, and Baylor tied it multiple times, but then once the Duke took the lead again, that was it. I mean, 44 points for Duke in the second half, while Baylor had 38. So both offenses improved in the second half, and they scored more. And granted, some of those points for Duke, not a lot, were foul game. I'm going to start with Baylor on the stats first. They shot 43.9% from the floor on 57 attempts. They shot better in the second half than in the first. The first half, they were like 35%. 44.4% on threes on 18 attempts. They made 75% on free throws on 16 attempts. So as you could tell, the offense was not the issue. They had 30 rebounds, and 11 of those offensive, including 8 of them from Yves Missy in this game. 10 assists, though. Ugh. Could have been better. 3 steals, 7 blocks, including 5 from Yves Missy in this game. 14 turnovers. I knew if Baylor turned the ball over more than 15 times, they would be kind of in trouble. They were close to it, and it still lost. And 20 fouls, like I said, some of it was foul game, and Baylor did have 13 points off the bench, and they even have 4 double-digit scores that combined for, okay, that's 21, 36, 53 points. But I will say, Baylor did have one other player with 6 or more points in this game, and Langston Love with 8. And Yves Missy, he had a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks. So as you could tell, the turnovers really hurt Baylor in this game, because look at the points on turnovers. And Duke shot the ball too good in this game, 49%, on 51 attempts. So they took the 6 less shots, but they made theirs count. They were just getting to the rim, and Baylor couldn't stop the pick and roll. They need to work on that on defense. I mean, I'm telling you the truth. And Jeremy Roach or McCain was going right. One of those two guys nearly all game long, and Baylor couldn't stop it. They shot only 33.3% on threes on 12 attempts, and 82.8% on free throws on 29 attempts. So there's a little bit of discrepancy, but still, it doesn't matter. You got to make plays to win, and that's what I'm going to just say. Officiating was questionable on both sides, not just one. 29 rebounds, 8 of those offensive, so Baylor did win the rebounding battle. And Filipowski had a double-double, 13 points and 10 rebounds. 14 assists for Duke, 8 steals, no blocks, 8 turnovers, 13 fouls. Well, when you take care of the ball, you usually win the game, and that's what happened here. And Duke only had 4 bench points. However, everybody else combined for, in the starting lineup, combined for 74 points. I mean, 5 players, all 5 starters. They have more balance offensively, and you know what's crazy is Filipowski. He didn't get his average tonight, but everybody else got theirs. And Baylor couldn't stop anybody else. Point blank. Nobody else on Duke had 6 or more points in the game. So, what do these two teams have going forward? Well, Baylor has a winless Mississippi Valley State team in the Farrell Center for the last game in the Farrell. And they should win that game. They're 0-11. Then they got a Cornell team that's 8-2, so they can't really sleep on them. And that's in the Foster Pavilion. Got at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is not as good this year, but then they got BYU at home. BYU is ranked at that. So maybe they'll play better at home against a ranked team instead of at a neutral site. Maybe. And then they got Cincinnati at home, which you can't sleep on them. And no nights off in the Big 12, as we all know. You can't take for granted Oklahoma State's not as good this year. Upsets do happen. In all sports, like we have seen. And Duke, on the other hand, ended their 3-game losing streak with the win tonight. And they play Queens next. They should win that game. They're 6-7, but then again, it's coming off of Christmas. A break. I mean, then they got Syracuse at home, on the road to Notre Dame. Notre Dame's not that good, but still, you can't overlook them. You got Pitt on the road. That's not necessarily going to be a gimme game right there either. I mean, 9-3. But then again, it could be fool's gold. On the schedule, and they got Georgia Tech again, who beat Duke. Remember. So, anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 600 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So make money off this. Of course, liking the video, commenting the video really helps YouTube algorithm so more people can see it. Sharing the video does help as well so more people can watch. And if you're watching it, if you're not, and not subscribed, hit subscribe button. It's free. Hit the notification bell as well. And Baylor didn't make their close shots in the second half. Within the last 10 minutes or so, it seemed like they were just missing a lot at the rim. You gotta make those easy shots.